What's going on, guys? Alex here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Look At. And today we are checking out the new Empire pipe barrel system. So these came out probably a little more than a couple weeks ago at this point by the time this actually goes up. But this is supposed to be the higher end of the two new barrel systems from Empire. If many of you saw the Axe Pro Let's Look At that I did, I kept mistakenly calling the Driver XX barrel that came on the Axe Pro the pipe barrel, but it is not. It is the Driver XX barrel that comes on the Axe Pro. This is the pipe barrel. This is the pipe barrel, the one that comes on the new Vanquish. And so as you can see here, it comes in a tube just like this. It comes as a two-piece barrel, and I would assume, although I haven't really seen much of it, I would assume that you can just buy different control bore backs for it, so you can kind of make a kit out of it. So what it does come with in the little two-piece pipe system, in the little plastic tube there, comes with one assembled barrel, so you get one back and one tip, as well as 5 of these colored rings that go right there on the center of the barrel, like this red one is on here. The 5 colors it comes with is red, like a sour apple green, silver, black, and gold, which is a very weird color palette choice, although after 5 minutes of looking at it, I realized these are basically the color patterns that the Vanquish comes in. So I can see where they came from with that, but I think a little more of a generalized color palette with these colored rings, being that it's only an accessory piece to give the barrel some color. I think a little more of a generalized color palette would have been better to go with. Like the black, silver, and red, I think is fine. The green and gold, I think, as I throw those all over the place, the green and gold, I think, is a little bit weird, just because if you're buying this barrel separately, you certainly don't necessarily have one of the new Vanquishes. I think some better, like more simple colors, more common colors that would have gone well. Blue, I think, would have been a good ring to have, as well as, I don't know, I'm just kind of looking around here. Maybe I'd swap the gold for like blue and call it at that with the 4 rings, or if you wanted it to come with 5 rings, I'd probably, I guess green would be okay, but I'd probably change the color of this green to like a more, I don't know, I have no idea, man. I really don't. Honestly, I think it would be fine if it just came with like red, black, silver, and blue. Very common color palettes. I think that would have been a little bit better of a choice, but it does come with the silver, black, and red, which I think is pretty universally acceptable. Although, that being said, these are just little color accessory rings, and that's not a super huge deal. So, my problem was that when I got the X Pro and the Driver XX barrel that came on it, the back said 688, we measured it out with my electronic calipers, and it came out to like 693 or something outrageous like that. So my first tendency when I got these in was they both said 688. So I immediately grabbed my electronic calipers and like, I gotta see this. So right off the bat, I've already done this for myself, but let's go ahead and do it on camera just so you guys can see. So again, both of these are .688, and let's go ahead and zero out the calipers. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and measure this control bore. I'll measure it from both sides just to make sure. There we go. So this is supposed to be .688. This is coming out to .690 and a half. It's not, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's certainly not the 688. That's, you know, that's a whole it's two sizes technically, but in general that's like a whole one barrel size up as far as inserts go. So I'm going to measure the other side of the control board just to make sure. Let's get that right there, down to the edge. 0.691. It's flickering back and forth between 0.691 and 0.690 and a half. So 0.690 and a half, I think, is what we'll call it. It's not terrible, but it's certainly not the 688 that's advertised. When these barrels are going for $90 for this two-piece barrel, and knowing that they're off by a whole barrel size, where usually like the freak inserts from GOG are usually either right on the money or only off by 1/2. So they're off generally with the freak inserts. If this was a 688 insert, it would either be 688 right on the money, which is what I normally find, or if it is off, it's only like 688 and a half, or 687 and a half. It's not off by much. The dye ultralights are like that. They're usually right on the money. The CP backs are kind of hit or miss, but that's so far my only experience with the new Empire barrels is that they're not the right size. The one on the Axe Pro certainly being the worst. That's almost like 4 barrel sizes off. So let's go ahead and measure this other one, and I'll do both sides. I'll do the same deal. So let's go ahead and measure the back for the control bore. Come on. Ah, there we go. Let's not get caught on that lip. So this one is coming out to, at the back side right here, where it actually goes into the gun, 0.691 even. Make sure that's still zeroed. Yep, okay. So let's go ahead and measure the front for that control bore. 0.692. Yeah, 0.692, definitely not changing. So that's actually worse. I don't, I really don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, the one on the Axe Pro said 688. Granted, that was a driver XX barrel, but that was 0.693. These both say 688, and it seems like we've got 691 and 692. So, in my opinion, if I'm paying $90 for a barrel, knowing that there are other barrel systems out there that match the bore size and get bored to pretty damn well the proper size that it actually should be, I don't know if I could necessarily recommend this thing. I mean, looking at the barrel, like the tips are kind of like old AA style tips from Smart Parts. The porting is very generous and seems pretty solid. And looking through the backs, they seem very polished. I don't know if they're exactly micro-honed, but the polishing seems fantastic. Just looking down the barrel. But at $90, I'll go ahead and put the red one on. At $90, that's kind of a deal breaker for me, knowing that I can go get a dye ultralight. It's going to be a little bit more money, but it's going to be the right size, and I know the honing and the polishing is absolutely fantastic on those. And I can go get a Freak, I can get a Freak Junior barrel for like $75 that comes with tip back and insert, or you can get a back. You can separately buy a back tip and insert for a little over $100, and I know it's going to be right on the money for the right size. I can go get an Eclipse Shaft 4 barrel, and I know they're going to be pretty right on the money. So $90 for the Empire pipe system. The sizes aren't exactly right. If I'm looking at a $100 barrel, that's it's a deal breaker for me. So. Sorry, Empire. Good effort. I think because they look nice. The colored rings is a cool touch. The tips look great. The polishing on the inside looks fantastic. But I think just a little more quality control on the actual bore sizes is what I would strive for. Obviously, these are autococker thread. Again, these go for $90, available on Empire's website, empirepaintball.com, as well as ours, pvwarehouse.com. If you want to come into the shop and check them out for yourself, if, you know, a little off on the bore size and not a super big deal. You know, everything else about the barrel, I would absolutely recommend. It looks like a fantastic barrel. Polishing's fantastic, porting's great, nice dust finish. It looks like a good barrel. It looks nice. But as a review, being unbiased, you know, the mismatched on the bore size is definitely a deal breaker for me. So that's it. There's not really much else to talk about. Just figured we'd check those new barrels out, the new pipe system from Empire Paintball. Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you enjoyed it or found it informative or helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button. It really helps out the channel a lot. And that's all I got for you guys today, so I will see you next time.